Hi friends, and welcome back to Rugged Mountain Homestead. My name is Sarah, and today we are going to be trying out a new set of knives for the Homestead kitchen. I was sent these knives by the Piklohaus company and asked to give an honest review. I will give an honest review because I don't believe in doing otherwise, and I always want to maintain my credibility with my friends. So it is very cold up here on the mountain today, and I had decided this morning that I was going to make some chili. So this would be a perfect time to unbox these knives and give them a try. Now, the name of this knife set is Homestead, and I have never heard of this before, so I'm very happy to try it out. The knives were designed in Germany. Okay, now these 6 slots down here, they will be for steak knives. I like that they put the tip on here, so I don't cut myself. The handle's lightweight. It's nice. These knives are made from German high carbon stainless steel. Now with any kitchen tool, all of these have a very specific function. The kitchen shears are just that. Anything you need to use to really cock a chicken. I don't know why I'm having trouble saying that. There's hundreds of uses for the kitchen shears. Now, as Dean always tells me, you want to use the right tool for the right job. So if you're unsure of what each knife is supposed to be used for in your chopping block, be sure to look it up and make sure that you are using it properly for the proper function. The utility knife and the paring knife is a very handy little knife. Okay, this is an important one and a favorite of mine, Santoku knife, and we are going to try it out chopping up some onion. Now, like I said, it's been pretty cold up here, so I'm going to be making some chili. So I have an onion here, and I'm actually going to use the paring knife just to trim off the ends and peel the skin off. Well, that was easy. Nice. Let's see, I could also take the blade, peel it that way. I could take it and just run a line down the skin and lift it up. Of course, I'll push this aside because I save my onion skins. Very nice, very easy. Now you're going to want to use this knife for your chopping, your dicing, and your mincing. So I'll cut into here. Whenever you're using a large knife like this, you should be able just to press down into it to slice something in two. You should not have to saw at all. Blades are sharp. It goes down without a problem. All right, so I'm just going to take this little bit here and chop it up with the Santoku knife. That is nice. And you got to be extra careful because it goes through fast. The blade is very sharp. Wow, very quick. Very nice. Okay, now this is my favorite knife because I have a smaller hand, and this is very easy, very nice, lightweight. This is very easy for me to maneuver. The blade is very sharp, and I don't hardly have to work it at all. Okay, now I brought my pot over because I am going to be making chili, and I'm just going to take my chopped onion, and I'm using the back side, not the blade, the back side of the knife. A chef's knife is also real versatile. Sometimes I find it for myself a little harder to maneuver just because my hands are smaller and it's much longer. So since I'm going to be using onion for dinner tonight as well, I'm going to go ahead and chop some with the chef's knife. The chef's knife is versatile because you can use it to chop vegetables. You can use the flat side of the blade to press garlic. You can slice meat with it. You can use it on herbs. Like I said, it's very versatile. I just handle the other knife better. So let's go ahead and get some onion chopped here. Wow, that is sharp. That goes through this onion like it was nothing. I will turn my chopping block because I do not want my fingers getting anywhere near that blade. Okay, that is a great knife. I like it a lot. It slices very easily. I just feel like I have a little bit more control with the Santoku knife. And you know, I'm going to put a little bit more onion in this pot. We like onion. And last but not least, I'm going to go ahead and use some garlic. I'm going to mince it with the Santoku knife, but I'm going to press it first with the chef's knife. And I could even use the paring knife for the ends here. That just peels right off. That slid through it like it was nothing. Okay, and the blade to press the garlic. And sometimes in certain recipes, you just want to put it in the pan pressed open. When you press it like that, it just releases the natural oils of the garlic. Okay. You barely have to come down on it. Now, it may not be perfect, but I'm not a chef either. And then I will use the Santoku knife for the other side, the other piece. Wow. Very nice slices. Chopped garlic. Always keep that blade of the knife away from you. And we're going to try out the bread knife. I have all the knives washed up. We're going to go ahead and put them in the appropriate spot in the chopping block. Okay, so the largest knife goes in the first slot, so that'll be the chef's knife. We already have the steel sharpening tool, goes in the only hole on the block. Then in the next slot we put the Santoku knife. This slot here is where the bread knife would go. I'm going to take it out because we're getting ready to use it. This is the slicing knife. This is where the slicing knife goes. The utility knife. And the smaller section over here we have for the paring knife. All 6 steak knives are located conveniently at the bottom of the block. So it's nice to have them all in one location. And now the bread knife. I will be the first to admit, I'm not good at slicing bread. I either slice it a little too thick or a little too thin, and I like to kind of have it in between that for sandwiches. So I made a very large loaf of bread and I cut it in half. Now we have been eating on this little loaf here, but that's fine. See, there's a square left. And I have a little bit of extra kind of a hangover of a crust there because I let it rise so high in the pan. So that's all that is. Now my general rule of thumb is that I lay my forefinger on the top of the loaf of bread and I just try to use it as a guide of slicing each piece. Now let your bread knife work for you. You don't need to push hard into it and saw back and forth. I just have it laid on the top here, very nice and softly. Nice, very, very nice, very smooth. Look at that, very smooth. Okay, but as you will notice, it's still not even. I mean, it would do, and we would probably eat this as bread on the side, but that's why I'm so excited about the next thing I'm getting ready to show you. Okay, this was also sent to me by the Piklohaus company, and it is an adjustable bread slicer. It will actually let you slice bread between 3 thicknesses. The only difference is that it's a horizontal bread slicer. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up and see what I can do with it. When you're using this, it actually has a container for breadcrumbs. That is nice. Okay, now that I've read the directions, this is a really neat little item. Get up close here so you can see. It's a horizontal bread slicer, and as you can see, you can choose the width of your bread that you want. So you have 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4, and a whole inch, which would be a very thick piece. And then here is the tray for the breadcrumbs. So now that I've cleaned it off, let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, so if I'm seeing this correctly, loosen up the screws here. Okay, and slide it into the position that you want. So I want to try it out first at 1/2 inch. I'm going to lay my bread on the board. I'm going to turn it around because that's the tray for the breadcrumbs. I'm going to take my knife and just line it up with the top of this here. And then I'm just going to hold it at the top and cut along. Wow, okay. That was from the other knife that I used, my old one. That really is nice. That's sandwich size for us anyway. I never would have been able to do that on my own. So that is at the 1/2 inch mark. Now just to let you know, I'm a little clumsy with this because I've never used it before. I waited until doing this video to take it out of the box. I wanted you to see how it really is. So I just move these crumbs down into this little tray here. Okay, now there's a magnetic edge over here for the knife. We should never put it up like that, but right there. So when you're slicing across, you can feel that pull. So it kind of helps you stay in line better. I'm going to slice these ends off because it's making it a little awkward. Okay, that's a little better. So I'm going to go ahead and move this to the 3/4 inch. There we go. Okay, they have to be lined up on both sides, and that takes some getting used to. Like I said, I'm not graceful, so you're probably not as clumsy as I am. So I'm going to lay my bread right here, hold the top of it, and lay my knife on top of these 2 rails, and I'm just going to slice across. Nice. 3/4. Very nice. Wow. I like this. I like this a lot. I like that the bread slicer has a little tray here for crumbs instead of having them all over my counter. I do like that I can choose and get to know what size that I like for the different applications. And for me, it's just getting used to it. I like very much that it has this magnetic edge, because I'm one of these people that I will I think I'm going straight and I'm not. as you can see by the bread slice I showed you earlier. So it has this magnetic edge to hold your bread knife should you want to leave it out. The only thing about this bread slicer is, again, I'm not graceful. So I really have a harder time adjusting both sides at the same time. So you can easily unscrew it on both sides and you can still line it up one side at a time. There we're at the 1-inch position on this side. And the 1-inch position on the other. And then I can tighten up both sides at the same time. So, it's a really handy dandy little item here. I like that. Just getting adjusted to moving the screws at the same time. If you're able to do that, great, kudos to you. I'm not, maybe I will in time as I use it more. I'm definitely going to be using it for sure. It's a nice wood block. I like that I can catch the crumbs in one location. The only things that I see that would be an issue for someone is that it's not to go in the dishwasher, but there's nothing to cleaning this up. Warm soapy water, dry it off, and that's it. So not dishwasher safe, and for someone like me who's not graceful, it's going to take a little time getting adjusted to the horizontal screws. But that, with anything, will come in time. I like it. I've been wanting a bread slicer because, again, as I showed you, I was just using my index finger and still was not very good at it. So I'm going to leave links below in the description box to both of these items. I thank the Piklohaus company very much for sending me both the knife block and the bread slicer to have and to review. This is going to be a nice upgrade from what I previously had. And also I noticed that the knife that I was using regularly from my old chopping block, it's much heavier. So, I mean, it didn't seem to be a problem, but it's nice to have something lightweight like that. I like it very much. So if I were shopping, I would look at user reviews for the knives if I was personally shopping for a new knife block. And now that I've been able to try it out, I would purchase these. This knife set is a great addition to any kitchen. I would also have purchased the bread slicer. I needed one, and this just has a lot of features that I like. I like being able to decide what size of a slice that I want, because we would use the 1-inch slice for things like French toast. We like it a little thicker. I think the 1/4 inch would be too thin for us. So now I know that 1/2 inch is for sandwich bread slices, and 3/4 inch I probably just use as bread and butter, you know, on the plate on the dinner table. I hope you have enjoyed learning some new information about 2 new products. And I will, like I said, leave the links in the description box below so that if you want to go and check them out yourself, you can. They are sold on Amazon. They are both reasonably priced. I know that a lot of times a new knife block set can be extremely expensive. But this one is budget friendly, and it is a very nice set of knives. So thank you for joining me in the kitchen up at Rugged Mountain Homestead. I look forward to seeing you next time, and until then, take care.